Okay, so it is not quite 10 minutes past Globex open for Friday, December 7th, 2018. And I wanted to show you this first because here's the time so that you can get a timestamp on this. So I want to talk to you about DOP really quick because, actually, let me show you the day chart first because this is very important that you understand this. Okay, do you see how it's still red? Do you see how it's not huge, but we are below yesterday's where we ended on the little indicator here. But let me show you the key turns so you can see the reference point. So we're about 6-7 points away from the turning point. So what I want to point out is this. This is very, very significant because if you look at the low today, 26.21 and a quarter, and we ran up all the way to this high in this candle was 26.99 and a quarter. Okay, that's a 78 point run. Okay, now you would think that if the market is going to bounce 78 points, that the signal that we get for tomorrow, Friday, is going to be very, very strong up. Not only is it not that, but it's down. It's not strong down. We're, only 6 points currently to the tipping point of the key turns. Now we can continue up. We can just keep climbing and climbing and climbing and go to the moon. But historically, since 2005, 6, I can't remember, 2005 or 6 when I first developed this indicator. Well, actually back then it wasn't an indicator. It was just some analysis I did on a daily basis. Took a very long time. Ever since then, when this would happen, when we would have like a recovery like this, and this is huge. It's huge because we've had such massive drops because of what's going on. I mean, we can see just in the 4.5 days on my screen without even scrolling back, we have a 200 point range basically. So we've had very large market movement, which is fantastic. When this happens, there is a huge chance, very high probability that we're going to have another drop. Now, we could do what we did today. We drop and then have a recovery. It could just be in the Globex, we drop and then have a big recovery. And like I said earlier, it's possible that we could just kind of pitter-patter around here and then climb up. But the reason why I wanted to do a video about this is because it doesn't happen often that we have this, where we have a huge recovery. Now, recoveries could be flipped. So if the market was doing the opposite of this, we were going up 200 points and then had a 70 point drop, the reverse is also true. Okay, but when we've had I would call this significant in proportion to, I mean, we're only from the open of the Globex candle last night, we're not far from that. We're 15 points away from that. That's not proportionality. That's not a lot of movement. 70 points from this drop here, that's big. That's huge. That's a very large recovery. So for the market to recover that much and for DOP to be down, that's huge. Okay, it means that there is severe weakness in this rally up, in this recovery. So the way that I play this is this. First of all, I don't complicate things. When DOP is below, the key turn level, or excuse, what I should say is, by the way, key turns is DOP, DOP is key turns. It's the same thing. This is the price that is derived from the day chart. Hopefully you understand that by now. Okay, so when price is below the DOP level, the key turns level, I'm playing shorts. When it's above it, I'm playing longs. Now you can buy when it's below and you can sell when it's above. But the dominance, this is worth almost 100 points. There's a lot of shorting happening there. There's still shorts here, but we're on the move. And I'm not going to talk about technicalities and details and what to look for, when to go long, when we're down, and vice versa. That's not what this is about. I don't complicate things. I keep things simple. When it's below it, I'm dominantly looking for shorts, and when it's above it, I'm looking for longs. It doesn't mean I won't take the opposite, just that's the bias. Okay, so in this exact scenario, what I am looking for to do for either if I decide to trade Globex or if I decide to trade tomorrow. It doesn't really matter because where we are right now is right now. And so we're below this. We do have a 6-point play here, so we do have some room here that price can go up. And so what I'm essentially looking for is if we get here, I'm looking for price to be very strong above this level. So it's at basically 2700. 2700.5 to be exact. Okay, that's our tipping point. So I'm looking for price to stay above that and be very strong. I'm looking for strength because as of right now, it's very, very weak. This shows what DOP does is it shows weakness and it shows strength. And right now it's showing weakness because of exactly what I described earlier. This massive recovery and it's down. Okay, that's huge. So, as traders, we're looking for, the gold, the money. You're looking at it right now. This is absolutely huge. So if we don't have that, if we don't get that, then I am hardcore selling on Friday. Hardcore, big, I'm going big Friday. And that's going to be a huge day. Now, we could just drop 50, 60 points. It doesn't mean that we're going to drop 200 points. In summary, all I'm saying is that when we have a recovery like this and it's still down, then that is a huge, huge sign that unless we have strength, and the fortunate thing is it's really close here. We don't have to worry about 10 or 15 points, like we did here. There's a lot of room for this thing to go up. It's right there. I mean, we're staring at it. As I'm speaking, we're climbing, we're still a few points away. But it's just right there, and so I'm looking for strength. Otherwise, hardcore selling Friday, and it should be a really fun day because of this. This is something that you want to watch for. It's difficult to find a day like this. I think the last time that something like this happened, it was probably a couple months ago, maybe October. I can't remember. I think it was October, something like that. But it's not very frequent. But when it happens, it's important that you understand what it is because you can really set yourself up nicely.